Howdy there. So, a couple of days ago, I got to see Fright Night. And I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it a 7. I find no reason not to. It's about a neighborhood in the suburbs of Las Vegas. And they basically, like right from the get-go, know that a vampire is living next door to our main character. And teens and families start to disappear, and it's pretty much, they know it's the vampire, and they've got to get rid of the vampire. That's, in a nutshell, it's a remake of the 1985 film of the same name. I was no, super fan of the original Fright Night. In fact, I would need to see it again. I know that I watched it more than a few times. You know, I think it was pretty much aimed towards kids or young adults. The weird thing about the original Fright Night, and the only reason I've ever remembered it, is that my mother loves that movie. So I thought that maybe that's a reason that I was never really that into it, is the fact that she loved it so much, and I was like, oh, well, Mom likes this, you know, how awesome could it be? So again, I feel that I would need to watch it again. But I'm just saying I have no connection or affinity for the original. So I walked into this, you know, with an open mind and heart. Stars Colin Farrell, Anton Yelchin, Toni Collette, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, let's see, who else is in there? Well, that's what's popping in my mind right now. Colin Farrell is the vampire. You know, he's not the lead, but he's certainly the attention getter. The scene stealer, if you will. And I thought his performance was fine. It was weird, but that's okay. I really enjoyed how the camera would linger on him just to show him, like, thinking. And what he would do with that time and space. In fact, I have a feeling that if he wasn't doing something so weird, you know, the film might have been shorter because they could have cut those scenes, you know, at least by minutes. But he always finds something to do with his eyes, with his mouth, or tongue, that is just kind of funny and creepy and weird. I thought his performance was interesting. And he is an interesting, I mean, he is an actor, you know, proud and true. So, I got into his performance a little bit. I also must say that, I mean, it can't be helped. Let me preface it by saying this. It can't be helped. But I could not help but see shades of Heath Ledger's Joker in Colin Farrell's performance. Again, I think Heath Ledger went out with a bang. You know, I think he really impacted screen villainy for at least the next few years. If you see like a really good scene-chewing performance, there's going to be shades of Heath Ledger in there because of what he did with the Joker. And Colin Farrell is a, what's the term? well, I've forgotten it. Not counterpart, but he was regarded with the same respect as Heath Ledger. They're in the same class of actors, the same age group. He even was one of his, like, I don't even know what you call it, versions in that Terry Gilliam film, Dr. Parnassus. Colin Farrell was one of the Heath Ledger impersonators. So, again, I kind of took his performance as a homage to Heath Ledger. Very good. All of the acting is very good. Anton Yelchin, I guess I've started to memorize his name after Star Trek, but I know he was around before that. I'm not sure from what. But he's very good, and he does carry this film. Toni Collette is always good. She was good here, a little bit underused, I thought, maybe, but, you know, whatever. Christopher Mintz-Plasse from Superbad and Kick-Ass, you know, started out as his normal character. Not really. I mean, he kind of stretched here. But he's fine. He's fine. Really, I thought the movie was good. You know, it was a lot of fun. It was scary. By the end of it, it did have me on the edge of my seat. I mean, I sat forward in anticipation. I thought maybe, like, I'm not sure what happened to the Toni Collette character. She plays the mother. After an encounter with the vampire, a very thrilling scene, she, like, faints, and then is, you know, just not in the movie much at all again until, like, the very end when she, you know, has to tell her son that she loves him and stuff. She just kind of, again, just faints and goes into a catatonic state, and, you know, that's it. I thought that was a little odd, you know. I didn't get that. I thought all the special effects were really good. I thought it looked really good. As a note, I saw this in 3D. I was kind of irritated. My theater of choice has been getting pretty mean with 2D and 3D versions. They'll put the 2D version at odd times that you really can't get to, or at least I can't get to, leaving only a $17 3D option. So that kind of bums me out. But I did see this in 3D. It's the first film I've seen in 3D since Cave of Forgotten Dreams. But Cave of Forgotten Dreams was shot and filmed in 3D. This was not. This was converted. I can't remember the last converted film I saw in 3D, just because I have a stance against it. So I can't remember what that last film was. But anyway, I didn't so much mind the 3D. I can't say that it added to the story so much. I thought there were a couple instances where it was, you know, specifically shot for 3D, which will automatically kind of, you know, date it as soon as it's on your home theater. You know, flying blood, stakes going towards the camera. Again, stuff they think about solely for that 3D experience. Solely so they can get $17 from you. It's dark. You know, that's what I wanted to get to. The 3D glasses dim everything. They make a bright, colorful movie, you know, dim. And this was a dark movie, and it was extra dark with those 3D glasses, very dim. So again, I certainly wish I would have seen the 2D version, but I did not. But the cinematography was okay, I mean, it was very dim, but that fit the story. You know, it was a good-looking film. I like the set locale, how it was just this like perfect blueprinted engineered village, you know, overlooking Las Vegas. I thought that was cool, if anything. You know, I don't really know what else to say. You know, I enjoyed it. I can't tell you who wrote or directed it. It was, at least the writer for the original got the story credit, but the screenplay was written by someone else. But the story was still credited to the original screenwriter. And I can't remember who directed it. Anyway, I had an okay time. I thought it was, as, you know, a horror film goes, it was just fine. I enjoyed, you know, a cameo appearance from the first Fright Night. That was cool, but you kind of, I mean, could hopefully see that coming. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Pretty standard fare, but the performances got me, and I was very much wrapped up in it and cared about the characters. And by the end of it, I was sitting on the edge of my seat. So that's a success, if you ask me. So that's Fright Night, the 2011 remake. And I'll give it a solid 7. So check it out. Later.